So speaking of the competitive tournament, there is a P-Star Russian Gwent Cup, and those are the decks used. Kinda not surprised to see. Where am I supposed to be? Close to this Gwent Buster 4 sub counter, right, to bring your attention. But yeah, 8 out of 8 players brought Nilfgaard. Syndicate was brought by 6 out of 8. So Skellige was also brought by the majority of players. Only one decided Yavmamente. Wait, Yavmamente didn't bring monsters, and he was the one spamming Renfri vampires after Renfri was nerfed. But yeah, why I wanted to look at this is, well, the meta that we can kinda expect on the Masters in a week. So Nilfgaard most likely will be brought by everyone because it's not easy to target. It's great points. It's depending on a leader with imprisonment. It got control with Imperial Formation and Double Cross. It got points. So I'm kind of curious what people brought. So those are the 4 different decks. Wait, it's actually incredible. Look at them, 2 beauties playing completely different leaders. And the only difference being, by the way, I'm changing the tabs every second or so. Yeah, 16 provisions, 15 provisions, 1 night, 2 night. Yeah, I want to see the bottom of it. Yeah, not that convenient. Well, so yeah, 1 Peller appears, Slave Hunters disappear and become a Peller and Double Illusionist in its stead. There we go, easy. Okay, so Russian Cup, Nilfgaard summary is that soldiers only matter if those are deploy soldiers, no engines are allowed. You can play Double Cross, you can play Imperial Formation. I would expect Imperial Formation on the Masters from somebody, but with actual soldier package, Crossbowmans and Art Fiend cards. At least 1 of 8. Alternative is Enslave with or without Hefty Helga, with or without Shup and Radea. I'll drop the link as well for you guys, so you can yoink it if you are interested. And considering the players who are playing, like, sure, some of them haven't played ladder for months, but Yavmamente, Nick were playing almost every season, so the decks are not just randomly picked by the players. Should be more or less indicative, unless somebody in the prep work out a completely new lineup and way to play Nilfgaard. This should be what they're gonna be playing. So let's check Skellige now. Okay, so moving to the Skellige summary, it's a variety of decks, majority of players taking Army of Patricidal Fury with a bunch of raids, control-y deck that might struggle with the greedy decks like Knights if you cannot kill everything because, well, you need to buff your raid cards in round 1. I would expect this being brought to Masters for certain. because well, Solvay is still a great card, Warriors is still a lot of points with Fuku, but there are alternatives. We see that somebody brought Iced with a similar package, the Warriors. Somebody brought Onslaught Pirates, a blast from the beginning of 2020. This is not a Golden Necker version even. This is the Magic Compass one though, so it's a mix from those decks that we've seen in the first half of 2022 before it fell out of favor somewhat, and Pirates allowed Self-Wound to be played. Oh, not allowed, but they were out-buffed by the Self-Wound. And then, yeah, the Self-Wound itself is also out of the meta on ladder because of the Irden, but with Irden nerf, you can freely play it for a pretty reasonable result. So those are Skellige, and Skellige was brought, as I mentioned, by 7 out of 8 players, so that's pretty great. Now the Syndicate is the third most popular faction. Let's just open the deck list immediately so that I don't open and close and open and close it. 6 out of 8 players here brought it. We see Pirates Cove with Sigi Mastermind that still combines the drill with collusion, plays all the tags. They even plays Bard. Bard is pretty great if he sticks and doesn't get controlled, but it's quite often that he gets controlled, and you kinda need him in round 1 to lay the claim for the round. So yeah, this is the deck from last season. Even after nerf, still playable. It's just that you need to adjust how to Sig exchange of showing you a unit. Cannot combine the drill with the crime now. Next one is Lined Pockets. Lined Pockets Golden Necker. Don't gonna stop much on it. Plays Poison Brothers, plays Poison Package, Defender Drill, so you've seen it. Another one, well, Poison is with Morale as well. There was another one with yeah, basically the same cards. You have a couple of locations or artifacts for your Golden Necker, a bunch of poison crimes and well, mutagens as well qualify, and then poison units, another one. And then there is one of the books instead of the Cove. I think community is still split which leader is better, but here we see that both of them are present only for one player. Others opted for the Lined Pockets Golden Necker version. A lot of cards here. Wait, double what's the name? Sorry, I'm blanking. Всем привет. Забыл, как называется на английском. Pulling the strings. That's kinda spicy because, well, if you played it, your experiences on success with this card might vary, but it still plays as a profit card, so shouldn't be a big no. 14 provisions. This was 15 provisions. Yeah, where is my Pirate's Cove? Dude, it was the last one, wasn't it? 14 provisions. So yeah, leaders are quite equal in terms of provisions. Yes, that's what I said, that you cannot combine drill with the crime, the bronze crime. I didn't specify, sure. So that's 8 Nilfgaards, 6 Syndicates, 7 Skelliges, and then 3 other factions are split, but we see the blue being the most popular of the leftover factions. It hurts some people to hear their factions, their main factions, to be named leftover factions. But is there any doubt what people are playing? Well, there is one. But first things first, Knights are back on the menu because Irden is gone. And what other deck suffered from Irden if not this one with the Knights? You can also see that there is a difference in choices. If I'm changing, a lot of cards are shifting. So first and the foremost is the choice to play Irondite or not play Irondite. Since you are in the tournament setting, you can dictate what coin you bring the deck in, and on blue coin you shouldn't struggle with Irondite buffs, because you always want Irondite Kachati. You want to buff this card. We're gonna look at the monsters in a moment. So yeah, you see Gerhard here. I think this Gerhard actually cost who was a Chase a game, because he didn't roll the 5p reset lock. But the idea is for this card to be either played for that, or you can play it for okayish points on 4 provisions as well. Like, if anything, you can just play it as a 13 for 11. The deck runs Purifies. We even see Kutkudak here, but you can, because it's a knight, but you can play without it. Just run Ale and Peller, and well, purifying your locked knights means probably that you gain like 10 extra points if we are talking about some of the engines being purified. How is this doing versus Ivar? Well, the round that Ivar is getting played, you're probably losing it. So you need to structure it so that you push Ivar out of your opponent. And he doesn't get to keep it for like round where he tries to either 2-0 you or win the last third round, because otherwise the point swing from Ivar is incredible. So I need to try and avoid that. Immortals is still a backbone of round 1 for this deck. And yeah, there is a Vandergrift as well for the carryover. But there is one Brave Soul playing Hanseld Siege. I wonder how did that go for the player. I don't know the results and progression of the players, as Ship mentioned. Nick didn't make it to the final, so it might have been Nick who brought it. Nebulan, thanks for the follow, spasiba. Thanks everyone who followed today. You can also drop a follow on YouTube, guys. I guess some of this also goes to YouTube as a meta review. We can also look at Elder's Blood meta report. Kind of surprised to see Vincent, but I guess it makes some sense with Skellige playing tall units. Like Fury. Is there anything besides Arnulf, honestly, that you'd want to Vincent? What else is in the meta that is good for it? It's a 6-point card, so you don't need to reset Arnulf specifically for it to be worth it. But if we compare this Vincent in its condition to a freaking Milton, it's pathetic. And yeah, this is not a version that runs like a Revenant or anything, so that would have been even more useful. But yeah, Siege, we've seen Siege, we've seen Iced. We're gonna look at the monsters next and probably see like some Relict Enjoy, right? Vampires, White Frost, Vampires. Okay, no. Don't get to see that. So the two vampire lists, and you see that besides the regular rent-free Regis vampire package, the change is Oriana versus Roach, and that's about it. Okay, Garcane versus double Drowner or vice versa is the only other change between the two decks. So Vampires, 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 and White Frost. Any bets out of 8 players? Will anyone bring this? Because that got points and you can regulate the coin. So as an option, it might be quite viable. Probably half of the players can take it. Is it targetable? Well, we're speaking about the tournament lineups where Nilfgaard will be banned like 99 out of 100 games, so to say. I can see this going versus Skellige like pretty okay, because Skellige cannot really remove everything in round 1 while still buffing their raids. So yeah, monsters from 3 players, and we see that Scoia'tael is the last faction with 3 picks as well. We're probably gonna see the Shiro. Okay, so Shiro is present in all 3 decks. 2 of them are Guerrilla Tactics. With a slightly different package, we see that I think it was Chase, or maybe not, who brought, no, wait, not Chase, who brought actual Dragon, who kills the rightmost unit, and depending on the adrenaline condition, either when there is like 3 or 5 units on the row. And we see that Harmony package with Lok Fane is in all 3 of them. Shiro, as we've just seen on stream, works quite well versus Skellige. And then versus Syndicate or Monsters. Well, versus Monsters you can try and fish for Shiro at 9. Even you get +3 from scenario, and then your leader charges. So the problem of Shiro being unable to reach the total numbers without you playing clowny lines is resolved thanks to the scenario and Guerrilla Tactics change. The problem comes with setting up your Shiro on opponent's side of the board, because, well, you'd need Precision Strike for that, but with Guerrilla Tactics you have those pings that you're actually using to buff Shiro, so it's less flexible. Other than that, looking at this Precision Strike, it still runs... Okay, it doesn't run sentries, and Matt runs instead those like young dryads and sword masters. And yeah, you need tags, so you see the dwarf here as well. The deck is on YouTube. We played with this version. No, wait. this version today, and I think I played the similar version to this before, so without bragging though. It still got points, it's a smooth experience, but well, you need blue coin for consistency. So that's the meta from as close as we get to the competitive. It doesn't reflect the actual lineups on the Masters, but it's still something to go by. And then there's a Team Elderblood meta snapshot. Gonna drop it in chat as well if you're interested in looking. I think it released a couple days ago. Description. Let's just look at the decks. So you might be surprised. You might be not. We've seen one of the Imperial Formation players. This might be the look of Nilfgaard on the Masters, with Imperial Formation, Artfane, Light Cavalry and Crossbowmans being there instead of just Nausicaa Sergeants and Spotters. We still can flex a couple of slots here. And either Guillaume, Milton in every deck, whatever leader you're playing, but at least it tries to play to its leader's strengths and doesn't ignore crossbowmen and cavalry, as we've seen Aluha do. Just change the leader, don't add those cards. It cuts Nausicaa Sergeants here in the Elderblood's meta report. But you need to make some space. Yeah, but if you missed the part, Ilucha just took the list and... yeah. Wait, you were here. Yeah. And just played a couple of different bronzes. So this is by far the strongest deck at the moment, but... Elderblood actually puts Cove to the same level, 4.25, even after the changes to Mastermind, Collusion, and Leader Provisions. Well, yeah, it's a deck filled with the Fire-Sworn bronzes, with the Disciples and Inquisitors to fight for round 1. They are synergizing with Cyrus Hamelfart in round 2 or 3 as well, so you can get a couple of points of carryover through it, because you can bring the Inquisitors back from the graveyard and they still spawn a token for you. But the most points you get from this deck is of course golds that are playing other golds that are playing for removal in coins. Jacques in Devotion, once again synergizing with the Fire Sworns. You have your combo of Mastermind into Drill and Collusion. Now that I mentioned, yeah, you cannot play bronze crimes, it shows you bronze units, or not even bronze, but only units per gang. Only one Little Bird and no Bart, as we talked, Bart being a good card, but you need to find it round 1 and you have to have tags for it to actually be worth it. Since it's not a Golden Necker deck, we don't see brothers, Gellert and Gerhard, not Gerhard, yeah, Roland. Maybe Gerhard is their lost brother. Bart needs Whale. Maybe. Especially if you want to push it, Syndicate from the Golden Necker in a different direction, just buff some other cards. So this is Syndicate from tier 1 on equal with Nilfgaard. probably would have separated them at least by like 0.1 in terms of rankings, but sure, still a powerful deck even after nerfs. Not sure who dominates the ladder in terms of faction performance though. This being non-competitive season kind of skews the scales. So Knights are back, as we've seen in the tournament meta as well. People are bringing it. Why is Mahaka Mail kind of looks green for me? Funny. As if the color was changed. It might be the flags that changes colors for me though, and you might see them fine. No. Tournament decks, meta decks. Self-wound is on par with that. So yeah, both decks activated by the absence of Irden and some other changes, although I don't think they got... wait. How is it? How am I getting CD Projekt Red bug on Team Elder Blood? What is this even? Why is this a caretaker taking care of Turshak veteran? What kind of meme is that? Yeah, I don't think it's intentional in terms of the meme. And something just happened, but... Or maybe it's just a picture. No, it's a deck code. And it is a Turshak veteran here. Yeah, it might have been just a link broken on the website. But here you go, don't play Caretaker. It doesn't even, like, it makes some sense if you're not playing Gremist and Mahaka Mail. But with those cards, yeah, just a visual glitch on the website. Maybe not visual glitch, maybe code broke. So White Frost is the other deck that we talked about, seen on the tournament choice from some of the players. Wild Hunt, why is Toad Prince there? Good card versus Nilfgaard. If Nilfgaard wasn't as prevalent, might have been not here. Knights can break Toad Prince somewhat, or at least not give them, not giving it the removal value it gets versus Spotters. Imperial Formation, by the way, also kind of denies Toad Print value, but Imperial Formation, double cross, whatever you're playing, gonna get banned, so it matters not. And then Reverse, well, Reverse built with Adalia, no Shani, double casting contest, double River Scout, and of course double River Hunter here. The leader, the Boholt, is not in the deck, and I doubt anyone really added Kenneth and Gar to their deck, even after the card got buffed. Haven't seen it in action. Even if I play in less Gwent, I still queue into some streams, and I haven't seen them. So this is tier 2 from Elder Blood here, and tier 3 is Warriors. Not really a believers in this build of Skellige, ranking it below the Self-Wound. Devotion, Raid, Warrior deck. Played against it, played it. Patricidal Fury change, kinda like it a lot. Although I don't like the change to Reckless Flurry that they made, limiting it to 2 charges, even at the bigger damage. And the last one is Symbiosis here. Symbiosis got buffs. They are playing Frogmate in season, Oquen, all that. and they can suggest you to add guessers. The problem with Eitne at times is that you want to push with the deck, and phase 2 Eitne is useless in that regard. So you might want to replace her to get that one more playable threatening card that also gets a lot of points if it sticks. As they mentioned, yeah, you can invest token if you are pushing from the red coin to win on even. Sure, why not? The card is great. It's no platinum necker, but it's still great. So this is Team Elder Blood meta report that they rolled out a couple of days ago. What is it missing? We don't see different Nilfgaard iterations, but do you have to add enslaves and whatnot assimilates to your tier lists when it's far less noticeable in the meta compared to the sheer volume of rent-free players using different leader abilities? Nah, not really. At least there are different considerations for self-wound and warriors. Like, warriors are by far more present on the ladder from my experience. Self-wound you almost don't see, but for the tournament and competitive meta, it's still a viable deck that also can be differentiated or distinguished one from another. No Siege. Siege probably makes it to tier 3, but Siege shouldn't beat Nilfgaard easily, and if you manage to buff your 8 cards, you're not struggling against it with warriors, even if warriors are devotion and don't have heatwave. No vampires, but Frost is probably the stronger deck as well. So that's the meta for the tournament that we are about to see in a week. Nothing is changing. They're playing it on the old patch. My only hope is Magpie. It's probably what's gonna ruin Magpie's lineup as well. Him bringing one deck that is not fitting with everything else and getting punished for that. We've seen that multiple times by now. I think one time it was Ruhin deck, and other time it was what did he bring to the latest one? Cultists, right? That kind of there are no cultists as well. Best deck in the video game. And if you are watching this on YouTube, yeah, like, subscribe, and drop the comment with your predictions on the lineups for the Masters and your preferred winners. That's all for the meta though. What are we doing now?